Hello, welcome to The Real Deal. Now for our Best of British segment. It's not all about those bigger British films. We're also celebrating the great and the good of the brand new generation of filmmakers. So we're here at the Charlotte Street Hotel for the very first screening of Hinterland, a film by actor turned director Harry MacQueen.
It's like somebody has locked you inside. There's nowhere to hide. There is nowhere to hide.
You've come back. Remember that.
Hinterland is essentially, at its heart, a love story, although not in many ways a traditional one. It's about two old friends that haven't seen each other for years and sort of get together for various reasons and go away for the weekend. It's a road trip movie set over the course of 3 days, shot in London but mostly Cornwall, and it's a kind of intimate relationship piece, really, very character driven, very sort of tender and honest two-hander. That's it.
And you've written, you've produced, you've directed, you've starred in it. Some would say that's a quadruple threat.
Yeah, it's not been easy. Actually, it's kind of shooting on the budget that we shot on. It became very obvious quite quickly that I would have to do it all myself. I wasn't intending on being in it actually, originally, but that kind of had to happen. And then producing it really happened because I couldn't afford to employ a producer. So yeah, I mean, I think when you're doing a really, really low budget indie like this is, you sort of have to do it yourself. It has to become a DIY job because you care about it so much. I think that's, yeah, but I wouldn't recommend it again, put it that way. But
I mean, going back to the start of the film's inception, where did you start with this? Is this coming from a personal story, or what was your inspiration?
A mixture of things, really. I think it's a very personal film. It's not autobiographical, I don't think, although I know the area that we shoot in and the journey to and from it very well, so I knew where we could shoot. So in that respect, it was a story that was kind of tailored around knowing where we could film in order to make a film on such a low budget look like it had a bit of production value.
And how hard is it to step from an acting position into a directorial position, because it's quite a jump?
Yeah, I think the jumps not huge in a sense, because I think if you've performed enough and if you've been a part in enough, if you've been lucky enough to be part of some good projects, which I happily have in the past, you kind of learn a lot on the go if you're open to the process of how other people work on set. But I think directing yourself is essentially impossible, and I've learned that the hard way. Yeah, it was mega hard. I've never made a film before. I've never made a short film before or anything as a director.
And let's talk a little bit about the characters and the casting behind this.
Yeah.
You and the wonderful Laurie Campbell.
Me eventually, but actually the whole thing really started because I'd written the story and I'd written the characters, and I knew them inside out. And I know a lot of actresses, but the girl character was really, really specific in my mind, and I didn't know her. I hadn't met her. I wasn't based on anyone particularly, and she's a musician, and music's quite a big part of the film. In that Lola, the character, is a traveling musician basically, and music doesn't bind the two characters like it usually does in film. It kind of almost is what separates them in a way.
And just finally, for anyone that's thinking about taking the leap from either being an actor into a directorial position or just trying to make a film from scratch, what advice, having been through the process, would you give them?
I would say I think the simple most important thing is to focus on what's really, really important, and that's character and its plot, and almost ignore everything else, because I think you can make beautiful films without throwing loads of money at equipment and loads of money at locations.
Harry, congratulations on Hinterland. It's such a beautiful film. We wish you all the very best and keep us posted.
Thanks for having me.
So making a feature film is no easy task, and I have to say that Hinterland has done it with a poignant, character-driven beauty that is well worth a watch. Make sure you stay up to date with all of the best of British films here at The Real Deal. Thanks for watching.